Welcome to another week of Turnpike Sports. I am Dave Weishattle, joined as always by my co-host and producer, Doug Weishattle. Doug, another fantastic sports week.
Yes.
Who could imagine?
Always busy. And welcome to the show, everybody. Always glad to have you guys listening every week to Turnpike Sports. And, yeah, it's been a busy week. It's also not only sports betting again, sports business news, all this stuff is going on. So, it's always an interesting time, especially at the beginning of the NFL season.
Yeah, I am shocked at the amount. Every day I look at the paper and there's new sports books coming online or being built or new deals being made. It's just... It makes your head spin.
Well, let's get right to it.
Yeah, let's take a ride on the Turnpike.
Exit 1.
And as always, we are starting off with our sports betting exit. More news coming out of New Jersey. I think in our last show we had just talked about Caesars and 888 launching their sports books online.
That was 6 and 7, right?
That was 6 and 7. And right after that, not even a week later.
I think a week from right now when we're releasing this.
BetStars. Well, no, the show was released on Fridays.
Yeah. Well,
so it was released on Thursday.
Okay. All right.
BetStars came out on Thursday. That makes a total of 8 online sports books.
I'm just so confused. I think my question is, do they all offer the same betting lines and the different prop bets? And it looks like they're all kind of the same. I think the big difference is what they have for their initial offers when you join, kind of thing.
I'm also starting to see that some of the online sites that have a physical counterpart, some of their lines are melding in together, those two, the online and the land-based. The ones that are online only, God knows how they're doing it with their lines. I know Sugar House, MGM, all have different lines. FanDuel online versus DraftKings online. And you know what? I think a lot of the prop bets are different too.
Yeah. I actually won last night. Truth be told, I'm online using the FanDuel Sportsbook, and I won the other night with the over/under for the Yankees-Red Sox game. It was 8.5, and I think the Yankees won 10-1. So I was happy about that.
And speaking of FanDuel, they are the first ones going through a controversy in New Jersey.
Boy. Yeah, this is the brick-and-mortar side of the FanDuel Sportsbook.
And it was a bet placed during the Broncos game. I think it was
it was a Broncos-Raiders game.
Broncos-Raiders, and it was at the end of the game. Someone bet on whether or not the kicker was going to make a field goal.
Yeah.
And it was improperly posted at 75,000 to 1 or something. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see. I think this is going to be the case of
well he put $110 on
$110
and
he won
in parentheses or quotes, or I'm doing the air quote thing. He won $82,000, but FanDuel said, you know what, there is an obvious error, and I think the word obvious is important in the legal proceedings.
It was obvious, but it was an error with the algorithm that made the bet, or that set the bet up for everybody, and it was such an outrageous odds that it is obvious that it was kind of but it was posted. Guy bet on it. And we'll see. I mean, I think this is going to be the first real test of the Division of Gaming Enforcement with the sports books.
One thing they're going to say and they're going to claim, look, it was an obvious error, and by the rules that we set out, that is null and void. So, the bettor should have known. But let's be honest, here in New Jersey, these aren't savvy bettors. I mean, they just started betting a month ago, so how would he know that's an obvious error?
Honestly,
by the way, I'm giving him legal arguments right now. This is one lawyer talking
you
to a guy.
You got to look at it from the other way too. They're not savvy bettors in New Jersey because it's brand new, but it's also brand new for the books too.
Sure. I mean, this was not a human error; it was an algorithm error.
It was a computer error.
It was a computer error.
Now, this has happened, from what I'm reading. It's happened in Vegas a lot.
I mean,
it's happened in the European market too.
This is not an uncommon problem. I mean,
No.
It happens. It happens in Europe. It happens in Vegas. But it looks like now we have a resolution, and it looks like it's the right one. I think it's a good PR move for FanDuel. What's going to happen is they're going to pay the guy his money, his $82,000.
Actually, they're going to pay everybody that bet on that improper wager their money. It looks like they've got the $82,000 bet, and there was a report that there were 11 other bets on that type of wager. So everyone's getting their money. Plus, as a great PR move, FanDuel is going to be paying 82 random online customers $1,000 each.
Which is great because I have a FanDuel account, so I'll be looking this week at my FanDuel account. So, and you know what? They'll probably get more customers this way, and it looks like, and certainly they're going to make up the $82,000.
They're going to make up all that money because the brand
course.
recognition they just created with this move is probably one of the best things you can do as a brand new sports book in a brand new market. So I just wonder how much influence the Division of Gaming Enforcement had on that decision. There must have been some discussion.
From all reports, there was some consultation with the DGE. But what was said, who knows? But I'm sure. Look, I'm sure the other sports books would have felt better if this was resolved differently in FanDuel's favor. But I think FanDuel took the initial steps of just, hey, you know what? We'll just pay it out. And
there must be something in place right now for future disputes.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's going to be something on betting tickets or something listed.
They had them in the terms and conditions.
Well, yeah, well, who reads that? But I think they're going to be...
Well, that goes back to what you're saying about the New Jersey market bettors not being savvy bettors just yet.
That's true. But like I said, they'll probably have something in the sports book saying, they reserve the right to declare a bet void if
they'll probably make
it
visible, make it like a big sign in the sports book probably now. But,
and on the tickets.
It's one of those things where this is probably the proper resolution at this time. 5 years down the road, you probably won't see it. Mm-hmm. But I think it was the right and proper move. And again, this goes...
It was a PR move.
This goes back and forth for the consumer and also for the Division of Gaming Enforcement's way they work with the sportsbook. So I think this was good all the way around. But again, I think down the road you won't see this again. We'll stay in New Jersey for 2 seconds here. Eldorado Resorts now runs Tropicana Atlantic City, and they have a partnership, Eldorado, with William Hill. I'll tell you, William Hill's everywhere. They're going to be doing a physical sports book. No timetable when that's going to be built, but they will have a physical sports book in the Tropicana in Atlantic City.
I'm excited about this because I think Tropicana is my favorite place to go.
It's one of the nicest ones.
I think it is. I think they have the best restaurants. I think they have the best facilities. I think they have, if you ever go to Tropicana, go and have dinner in the Quarter, which is a little section of the casino. It's fantastic. They have some of the better restaurants, and I'm excited that William Hill is coming to my favorite casino because my favorite sportsbook provider is going to my favorite Atlantic City casino, which I think is great.
There you go. Now let's go over to West Virginia. Now, just recently they opened up the Hollywood Casino Sportsbook in Charlestown. Just last week, the FanDuel at the Greenbrier opened. Now, it's unusual because, from what I'm understanding, FanDuel's not too worried about the foot traffic because this is a private casino. You have to be a member.
How does this work? I mean, if I drove over and if I don't stay at the Greenbrier,
you have to be a registered guest. You have to be a registered guest at the hotel.
Okay.
Or you have to be a member, and membership is $1,700 a year.
If I am neither, can I go in?
You can't get in.
Because there was I think they changed this policy in Pennsylvania for the Valley Forge Casino.
No.
You almost had to pay a cover to get in.
Well, no.
It was a different license.
It's a Class C license in Pennsylvania. That's where you need the day pass. But that's gone now, too, by the way.
That's gone now, too.
Which leads me to the next point I'm going to
make. So you
can't
get a day pass at the Greenbrier?
No, you can't. But since you brought up Valley Forge, I have a little addition to it.
Oh, good.
Pennsylvania, Boyd Gaming just finished their purchase of Valley Forge Casino, which means they also have the possibility of getting a sports book, and they have a deal in place with FanDuel.
Nice.
So when sports betting becomes legal, Valley Forge is going to have a FanDuel-branded sports book, possibly.
I'm glad I brought that up, because back a couple of years ago, Valley Forge, it was a very strange license. It was a Class C license, which means basically you needed to pay for a day pass. To go go into a casino, which was very odd because I remember going there. I was like, so what do I do? Is this like a cover charge, or do I stamp my hand, or what happens?
It's going to be nice to see this if it happens. It all depends on when Pennsylvania legalizes sports betting.
Which has to be pretty soon. I mean, they have New Jersey on one side, they have West Virginia on the other side. There's got to be some kind of pressure here to start it up. And look, they got to do it for football season. I mean, they have the Eagles on one side of the state, they have the Steelers on the other side of the state. It's a very loyal fan base for both, and they're going to be really supporting the sports betting scene. So I can't believe they're not getting off their butts and getting this done.
Well, Pennsylvania moves at its own pace.
Unbelievable.
Two more stories for this exit.
Okay.
Going out to Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights, and you mentioned this in the Bet Flash. Vegas Golden Knights and William Hill have entered into the very first partnership between a sports book and an NHL team. It's a multi-year deal, non-exclusive. I don't know who it's non-exclusive for. I'm assuming it's non-exclusive for William Hill, so they can do this with other teams.
Sure.
But according to the agreement, they will be having in-arena signage up. They're going to be able to put up updated league-wide odds on the Jumbotron in the Knights home stadium. They call it the Nightron. So During intermission of every game, you're going to see updated odds by William Hill.
Why, though? I mean, you can't bet in the stadium, can you?
No.
Why put up the odds if you can't bet?
Mobile betting.
Well, they don't have mobile betting yet.
No, but they will at some point.
So you're going to be allowed to probably bet in the stadium.
Well, also, you know what? I don't know how close the Knights Stadium is to any of the casinos. You can walk out. There may be a kiosk there, too, for William Hill, because they have them throughout Nevada.
This is the height of hypocrisy. For 8 years, New Jersey has been trying to get sports betting, and one of the leagues that was standing in their way was the NHL. And now they're posting odds. They have sponsorships. Hey, look what's happening with the odds in the rest of the league. And whatever.
And
whatever.
The last two pieces of this is they're going to have the William Hill line change. Whenever the Knights make a line change during the game, you're going to see it flash out. It's going to be the William Hill line change. Betting line, blah, blah, blah. That kind of. And then this is nice. When the Knights are away, they're going to be hosting away game watch parties.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm happy for William Hill, but I'm still a little miffed at the NHL changing in midstream kind of thing.
Well, they got to do it. Them and the NBA are probably two of the first ones that really embrace sports betting.
Sure.
The NFL still, got to stick up their butt about it. And last but not least for this exit, Westgate Resorts and Paragon Gaming have announced plans to take the Superbook. I'm doing the air quotes that like you were doing. Superbook National. They're going to have Superbooks in every place, or they plan to have Superbooks in every place that legalized sports betting exists.
I mean, that'll be great. I mean, but I'm trying to figure out where on the East Coast Superbook is going to be. I mean,
West Virginia, probably.
West Virginia is probably a safe bet. I'm sure they'd want to get into New Jersey, New York market, but I'm trying to think of where they'd put it.
I could tell you two places.
Where?
Probably someplace in the Meadowlands.
Well,
not where FanDuel is, but where Xanadu is, that sort of thing. They're resurrecting those plans for a North Jersey casino somewhere else.
Wow.
So I'm just saying Meadowlands as a general area, and also Hard Rock possibly.
That's true. I didn't even think of Hard Rock.
Hard Rock does not have a sportsbook yet.
Which, by the way, they have some kind of issue because they have the Hard Rock naming rights in Florida for one of the stadiums in the NFL. I think they have to get that worked out, and I'm wondering if this, the story you told about
there's a buyout.
There's going to be a Golden Knights kind of precedent set here for the NFL. I mean, will the sports book, allow Hard Rock? Will the NFL allow the Hard Rock to have a sports book, even though they have a naming right in one of their stadiums?
Well, they may do what the Golden Nugget has to do with the NBA. No Rockets games. They may not be able to do Dolphins games.
That's true. Okay.
So maybe there's a carve-out somewhere, but I think there's a buyout on the naming rights, too, and I don't think Hard Rock's going to have a problem with being bought out of that stadium deal.
Exit 2.
Now we're going to move over back to some typical sports talk. I guess you can call this typical.
This is not typical what just happened.
Two things, as a matter of fact. Not just one thing, but two things here. Everyone's been watching the NFL here with Vontae Davis this past weekend in the middle of the game at halftime,
right?
When the Bills were being destroyed by the LA Chargers. He packed up all his gear and announced that he's retiring at halftime. Left the stadium, and the amount of backlash he got for it, I understand he didn't have the desire to play anymore. Something wasn't right with him. And he played a game and a half this season, basically. He didn't play in the first game, by the way, from what I'm understanding.
And he's a 10-year vet. He should be, being an example to all the younger players there. I guess not.
I think if he had waited till Monday.
Yeah, probably. You know what? That could have been, or you know what? Sunday night.
Yeah,
just
right after the game.
Don't walk out of a
game.
Right
after the game.
Don't walk out of a game.
But I understand it's his choice.
Yeah.
Now this is when I was researching all this stuff up, because I wanted to see if this has ever happened before, and there's no record of a player retiring at halftime, but I came across this, and this happened a couple weeks before Vontae Davis retired or quit.
So this happened this year, huh?
This happened a couple weeks right before. Yeah, this year.
Okay.
At the end of August, early September. The Healdsburg High Greyhounds in Healdsburg, California.
Okay.
Healdsburg is a little village, 12,000 people in wine country, Napa Valley, that sort of thing. So they started.
Not known for their football, are they?
Not anymore.
No, I guess not.
The Greyhounds, which is the team, they voted to disband after 2 games this season. They were outscored 102-0 over the first 2 games.
Wow.
Now, they only had 18 players to begin with. 5 quit right after the second game.
Okay, well, there was a numbers issue there, but hey,
Iron Man football.
Yeah, hey, that's a good way to be. I did when I was in high school. I played both ways, so
But they had an emergency vote, and the remaining players voted 7-4 to suspend the season.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So the players voted, huh?
The players voted. The enrollment went from 1,000 students in the high school 10 years ago to only 500.
Wow,
present day. So they didn't have too many kids to begin with, but they voted to disband for the year, and they have joined Vontae Davis on the sidelines to cheer everybody else on.
Hey, if Vontae Davis wants to coach a high school team, I got the perfect one.
Yeah. I guess they got to change the name from the, the Greyhounds to the Quitters?
Yeah, right.
Exit 3.
Staying with the NHL, they have announced a brand new U.S. partnership with Jägermeister. Jägermeister is now the official shot of the NHL.
Wow, betting and booze. Boy, have the NHL changed their stripes, huh?
Well, this is more typical.
Have a
stuff.
shot and place a bet. There you go.
But this is a more typical sponsorship deal.
Yeah,
but again, it's the first time you're having an official shot of the NHL, and I thought it was kind of funny because they're going to be doing a whole different types of events, hospitality programs throughout the season. They're also going to be the presenting sponsor of the Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge for the NHL. So they're getting exposure everywhere. They're going to have they're going to integrate the brands together, Jägermeister and NHL symbols across retail, in-venue, on-premises channels. They're also going to be doing stuff with the Winter Classic, All-Star Weekend, and all the other NHL major events. And one interesting part of this, and this may be where the non-exclusive thing, remember we talked about the William Hill with the Vegas Knights stuff?
Yep.
Where it's non-exclusive? Jägermeister still maintains individual team sponsorships. So it's non-exclusive.
Oh, so it's not with the NHL, it's with...
No, it's with the NHL, but they also have individual team sponsorships, too.
They'll do different things with different teams.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. I always get confused with the Jägermeister symbol and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Fear the deer.
Fear the deer. And they do have a deer on their Jägermeister thing, right?
Yes,
their
they
logo.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're currently still disputing the trademark.
Oh, okay.
Exit 4.
Speaking of trademarks, that was an inadvertent segue.
I know. Boy, we worked out that one pretty well.
So the question I have to ask everybody is, will the real Fitzmagic stand up?
This was weird because, I heard this on the news, and it's strange that this, I guess, a player in Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins defensive back Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Filed a trademark application, or had his people file a trademark application for Fitzmagic for apparel and footwear.
But
Multiple wear.
Has anyone ever referred to him as Fitzmagic?
According to him, his mom, his friends, he's always been referred to as Fitzmagic since high school in Jersey.
But the issue is, when you say Fitzmagic,
nowadays,
I'm thinking Fitzpatrick, the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
According to everyone that knows Minkah,
Well,
when you say Fitzmagic,
wait,
you think of
let me
Minka.
tell you something. You're a trademark attorney. The fact that I'm hearing guys on the radio, I'm hearing guys on TV refer to Fitzmagic as the Fitzpatrick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, that's going to be the issue when it gets to that point. Right now, it's just filed.
Okay.
And also,
So this might even be refused.
it could be refused because of the commonality of Fitzmagic now, because it's not referring to Minka, it's referring to Ryan.
Well, okay. Well, talk about the process. Like I said, you're a trademark attorney. When you file, they're assigned an examiner where they'll do a search, a Google or a internet search.
Well, they're also going to do the trademark database search
Okay.
too. Now, if there's no conflicting marks in the trademark database, they'll also look outside. They'll do the Google search
Okay.
of commonality terms, whether it's out there already. And quite honestly, this is where he may run into the issue. Let me go back to the process. If there's no similar marks out there, then it goes to the stage of the examiner issues a ruling and says it can go to the publishing stage. If it goes to the publishing stage, they've got everyone else has 30 days to oppose it once they know it's published. If it survives that, then it becomes a trademark. This is almost like an 8-month process, maybe 10 months, and sometimes sooner, sometimes later, but it really depends on the mark itself.
So it might be refused outright by the examiner.
It might be refused,
Okay.
so we'll see. But
We'll
again, Fitzpatrick has said he has no plans on filing a trademark. He has no plans on opposing it, according to any kind of sources out there. He may change his mind if it gets to the stage of publication where he can oppose it properly and basically take the kid to court in front of the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I was looking this up, there's another trademark issue coming out. And this one might not be between two players. It might be between a player and his team, specifically a quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Now, remember when everyone was giving him a lot of crap and he had a great game and he's like, you like that. He shouted that out to people.
You should have told me that before I would have gotten a clip from it.
That's okay.
Damn.
But he went and filed an application for you Vike that, since he's now with the Vikings.
Okay, let me you Vike that instead of you like that.
Correct.
And you Vike that because he's with the Vikings.
Right.
Can an examiner see that and say, "Hey, that's extremely stupid. Stop it"?
There is no rejection for stupidity.
I would be a terrible examiner. I was like, really, that's stupid.
No, this is actually technically a coined phrase. Vike. It's a coin. It'd fall under coin phrasing.
Okay.
So, but again, from what I'm reading about, the Vikings are considering opposing this.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, he's going to be there for a couple years and then leave. He's going to sell all the T-shirts he wants with you Vike that on it, and the Vikings get nothing. And doesn't it kind of dilute their mark?
They can do whatever they want. I mean,
yeah.
they could actually come out with a competing slogan if they want.
All
I mean,
right.
no, they didn't trademark the purple people eater defense that they had years ago. So,
Who thought of doing that years ago?
Well, hey,
marketing and the
now it's just everything is marketing now because everyone wants to get a buck, and especially in football, the contracts are not guaranteed.
Yep.
So, but that's it for the rundown today. The rundown of the Turnpike. Get in touch with the show. Call or text us at 609-512-6510. Facebook or Twitter, where you can find us at Turnpike Sports. Email the show at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And also don't forget to order your International Bikini Team calendar, info@internationalbikiniteam.org for ordering information. Also, don't forget the show is distributed through iHeartMedia, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, YouTube. So plenty of places to catch the show.
And stick around when we come back. We're going to do our picks. And wait, who's our pick sponsor this week? Hey, Tropicana Casino. By the way, I didn't know that before I said they were my favorite place. So stick around. We'll do the TropicanaCasino.com sports pick segment when we get back with Turnpike Sports.
A real abandoned prison in Philadelphia becomes the #1 haunted attraction in America. Terror Behind the Walls at Eastern State Penitentiary, presented by Lukoil, with a new infirmary attraction for 2018. Are you brave enough to opt in for a more intense experience? You could be grabbed, sent into hidden passageways, and even separated from your group. Save $10 with coupons from any Lukoil location. TerrorBehindTheWalls.com.
Join us at TropicanaCasino.com, where you get more everything. Sign up today with promo code Radio15 and get $15 bonus money plus up to $100 real cash back. We have more than 200 games to enjoy, plus new and rewarding promotions every week. Come experience what TropicanaCasino.com is all about. Enjoy your favorite slot and casino games, including Cleopatra, Wheel of Fortune, Blackjack, and many more right here at TropicanaCasino.com. Us 21 over and Oakland, New Jersey. Play. New patrons only. Terms and conditions apply. See TropicanaCasino.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hey, this is Dave Weishottle from Turnpike Sports with this week's Bet Flash. FanDuel Sportsbook in the Meadowlands will now be paying out on a bet they initially declared void due to a pricing error. Anthony Prince had made an in-play bet on the Broncos-Raiders football game with odds listed at 750 to 1, which would have earned him over $82,000. A second sportsbook has opened up in the state of West Virginia. The FanDuel Sportsbook at the Greenbrier Resort and Casino began taking bets last week. The Greenbrier is the only private members-only casino in the United States and joins Hollywood Casino in Charlestown as the only sportsbook in the state. And finally, a historic day in the world of sports betting. William Hill and the NHL's Vegas Golden Knights have completed the first professional team sponsorship deal in the nation. While both sides did not release the terms of the deal, they both have described the agreement as non-exclusive and multi-year. Well, I guess it looks like the NHL doesn't have a problem with sports betting after all. From the seaside to the desert, from the betting lines to the sites online, Turnpike Sports has got you covered. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Turnpike Sports.
We'll get right back to the show, but I want to take a minute to talk to you about Bean Genius. How would you like your coffee delivered right to your door every month, maybe 2 times a month? Well, now that can happen with Bean Genius. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country at beangenius.com. And Bean Genius actually learns their customers' individual taste preferences, then suggests future coffee blends for them. Well, how do they do that? Well, this is the cool thing about Bean Genius. Over at beangenius.com, they use an algorithm which learns the coffee flavors you like and then pairs up what you like with the coffee that they have in stock. And it's all based upon you. Every time you order, the system learns. The system learns your preferences as you go along and order more and more coffee. And now, all our listeners at Turnpike Sports can get a special offer. You head on over to beangenius.com/subscription, and you'll be able to get 10% off your purchase when you use our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, at checkout. That's 10% off at beangenius.com/subscription with promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. beangenius.com, the smart specialty coffee subscription service.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And for your viewing pleasure, 6 free spicy movies on DVD, plus free shipping. Always sent in discreet packaging. So go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. Again, that's BABE16. Because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. You know, listening to those commercials, I just realized it's my favorite time of the year. Terror Behind the Walls is back advertising with us, huh?
Oh, that's a great place to go,
I love it. At Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. It's just an amazing thing.
If you love haunted houses, if you love all the Halloween, the spook stuff, the actual scares of people jumping out at you,
yeah, right.
You know, it's one of those good things. I mean, you know, you always have the option of going to one of those hay rides or whatever, but you know what? how often do you get to go to a real prison?
Yeah, I like those ghost things on Travel Channel and cable and things like that. And Eastern State is like one of the staples where they go to find activities. So it's really cool to have a haunted house in an actual haunted house. Plus, they have with this thing called infirmary. I don't even know what it is. We have
it's another little haunted
picture of a
attraction
nurse
they got
with a demon nurse with
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they've got multiple things that everyone can visit while they're there. It's running all the way through the beginning of November. As a matter of fact, I think the first weekend in November it goes to.
Well, it's that time of the program again where we give our picks, and this week's
God help us all.
Oh boy. And this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by TropicanaCasino.com. They have more than 200 games to enjoy, plus new and rewarding promotions every week. Come experience what TropicanaCasino.com is all about. Now get $15 bonus money plus up to $100 real cash back when you sign up for a new account at TropicanaCasino.com with promo code Radio15. That's Radio15. 21 years or older. Terms and restrictions apply. Problem gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Problem speaker, too. I just
Yeah,
noticed there. That was a little tongue twister there.
Yeah,
at the end
what
there.
21 years or older. Terms and restrictions apply. See, I did it again.
Did it again.
Problem gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well, speaking of problem gambling,
Yeah, boy.
I can't seem to win.
Well, you know, I always do terrible the first couple weeks of the NFL season. I don't know what the teams are yet. You know, a lot of teams start slow. Both Super Bowl teams lost last week. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that, but
Well, the Patriots seem to have a whole bunch of new weaknesses now, so it'll be interesting to see how Josh Gordon fits in with that team. But
and it looks like the Eagles are getting stronger because they got Wentz back, but they're depleted on their wide receiver. So
they just re-signed
Jordan Matthews,
who got released by the Patriots earlier this season. He wasn't on any team, so he's back with the Eagles. He started his career there, didn't he?
He was a first-round draft pick with the Eagles. So.
Well, we'll see exactly where everything goes with the Eagles and the Patriots. I really hope I don't see a rematch there on the Patriots side. I'm kind of tired of seeing them in the Super Bowl. But, maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars showed something.
Look pretty good.
All right, let's get to this week's picks. Like I said, I hope I do better this week. So far, I'm 1-2. Last week, 2-4 on the season, so I'm not off to a good start.
I don't know what I am. I'm afraid to look.
Yeah, I know.
I'm probably the same. I think I did 1-2 last week. I picked the Eagles and they lost. I picked the Jets and they lost, and I think I picked the Chargers and they won. So I'm 1-2. So.
Well, so you're about 2-4, I think, too, as well.
Yep,
so we're both off to a kind of crappy start for this season. So, but let's get right into the picks. I'm going to start off with the Battle of Los Angeles.
Yep.
Chargers at the Rams. Rams were a 7-point favorite with an over/under of 48. Now, the Rams have not faced a defense like the Chargers yet. They've had 2 easy games from what I've been seeing here. And, the Rams and the Chargers have met 11 times previously. Mm-hmm. And Rams are 6-5 against them. Chargers won the last one in 2014, 27-24. And I found this out. They both have scored the exact same amount of points, 290 points each in this series. I think, second half is going to tell the tale here with this. The Rams have outscored everybody in the second half, and the Chargers haven't even scored in the third quarter this season.
Look, so who are you going with?
I am going with the Chargers and take the points.
Well, I'm absolutely against you on this one. Last week I picked the Chargers because they were playing a terrible team in the Buffalo Bills. So
and they forced a guy to retire.
They forced a guy to retire.
That's how good the Chargers are.
Last week they played the worst team. This week I think they're going to be playing the best team in the NFL. The Rams are stacked, and the Chargers were the darlings of the sports books, saying they're going to win the West, and they still might. They're very talented, but
not the way Mahomes is playing.
Not as talented as the Rams. So I am taking the Rams and laying the points. So the Rams going to win by more than 7.
All right. So Rams, you, Chargers, me.
Yep.
Moving on to the New York Giants visiting the Houston Texans. Houston is a 6-point favorite, and there's an over/under of 41.5. At some point, I'm going to do an over/under, but right now I'm just feeling my way through this season so far. You know what? Deshaun Watson, the quarterback for the Texans, is facing probably one of the best secondaries in the league.
A very good secondary.
I don't know why the rest of the team isn't playing as well as that secondary, but that secondary is amazing. I mean, they're holding quarterbacks to under 60% passing, and they've only surrendered 164 passing yards per game. As you can tell, I did some research here.
But it shows you how bad the Giants' offense is.
Yeah.
And not the offense. I'm going to be hyper-specific here. And it's the offensive line. I mean, Eli Manning is going to get really hurt one of these weeks because this line is terrible. They're not blocking for him at all. They're not helping Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham. You can't utilize these guys because Eli Manning has no time, and the defense is always in the backfield.
And it's going to get worse now that the Giants lost their starting center.
Sure. I mean, it gets worse and worse.
But I'm going to say, as a pick in this game, I'm going with the Giants with the points.
Wow. No,
I think they're going to hold it close. I think you're going to see some stuff. I mean, last week, 2 weeks ago when the Patriots played the Texans, they had 123 yards to Gronkowski. So I think that secondary is vulnerable. And I think if we can see some downfield passing, Deshaun Watson doing some running, I think it's going to stay closer than what that spread is.
I want to tell the photographers and all the papers and all the NFL film guys to keep watching Eli's face because you're going to have a great Manning face this week like you did last week because Manning is going to be on his back. He's going to be running around, and I think Houston is going to be all over Manning because I'm taking Houston and laying the points.
Well, I have to disagree because I think this is where Saquon Barkley is going to have a good receiving game. He's not doing well. I think he had some kind of record, something at 14 receptions and only went for like 3 yards a catch.
We'll see if they're smart. They would use Saquon Barkley like that. Get him out in the flat.
They're going to have to.
Get him the ball. But if they don't do that, they have no shot at this.
But
and
like
I don't think
said,
they're going to do that. I
like
think Houston's going to win.
I think Giants keep it closer than that 6-point spread. So my next game and my last game for this week, Chicago Bears at the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona has shown me nothing.
They're terrible.
To actually even consider them in this game.
They're lucky they play in the same league as the Bills because everyone's saying the Bills, how bad they are. Because if the Bills weren't there, the worst team would be the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, right now I've got the Bears at a 6-point favorite and over-under of 37.5. The Cardinals are 0-2. They've been outscored 58-6 this season. They got Josh Rosen there sitting on the bench. At some point, you're going to see this kid because they just got to do something. And Bradford's not doing anything offensively for him. And then you got the Bears defense. When they traded for Khalil Mack, that just changed the entire game. They sacked Russell Wilson, 6 times last week in the Monday night game?
And look, Bradford's injury prone. I mean, I remember watching him with the Eagles, and he was,
He gets hurt in a strong gust of wind.
Yeah. So okay. I wonder if there'll be a prop bet. Will you see Rosen in this game, considering how good the defense is for Chicago?
I'd rather see the prop bet. You're going to see Bradford injured.
Well, no, I don't want
or leave the game.
I don't want to see anyone injured, but
someone's going to have that prop bet up, the injury. So, but I'm going with the Bears, and I think they're just going to blow the Cardinals out of the water there.
I'm looking at the Cincinnati Bengals at the Carolina Panthers, and the Carolina is home, and they're favored by 3 because they're home. They're only getting the 3 points because they're home. They're coming off a tough loss against the Falcons, and I don't think it gets any easier with the Bengals, who have scored 34 points in each of their first 2 games. So
Bengals are a surprising team.
I'm
very impressed with how they're doing this year.
And Bengals are only the underdog because they're the away team. And I think not only they're going to cover, I think they're going to win outright. And the over-under is 43.5. So, I'm going with the Bengals.
I can see that being an under, too.
Yeah, I know. I think the Bengals can score. Like I said, they're 34 points both games. So, they got some pretty good firepower.
You got McCaffrey on the other side, too, with Carolina. So that's always a danger of scoring it anywhere in the field.
I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Bengals are going to pull this one out.
Cool. All right, so those are the picks. We went to, let's recap, I did Chargers, Giants, and Chicago, and you did?
I did Rams, I did the Bengals, and I did Houston.
All right, and don't forget to patronize our sponsor, is it Tropicana?
TropicanaCasino.com, and you can get $15 bonus money plus up to $100 real cash back when you sign up for a new account at TropicanaCasino.com, and you have to use the promo code Radio15.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us this week. We hope to be back next week with whole bunch of new information, probably more sports betting news from New Jersey because that seems to be changing almost daily. But everyone have a great weekend with both college and football, college and pro football out there, and bet with your head, not just your phone.
See you next time on the Turnpike.
You've been hearing me talk about MyPillow and the benefits of using it to get a good night's sleep, alleviate your sore neck and back, and the special deal you can get from MyPillow through the show. Well, not only can you pick up the special deal for 4 MyPillows when you use promo code CARDS, but now you can get $100 off your purchase of the MyPillow mattress. Yeah, that's right, the MyPillow mattress. The MyPillow mattress comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-day money-back guarantee. The MyPillow mattress is made up of 3 unique layers, providing you the comfort and support to fall asleep and stay asleep all night. It even has the luxurious Dream Soft cover, which is stain-resistant and stays cool all night. Just head on over to MyPillow.com, click on the MyPillow mattress link, and enter promo code CARDS at checkout to get $100 off your order. Or call 1-800-319-7913 to order by phone. That's MyPillow.com, or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Better sleep starts with MyPillow.